Hi, my name is Jennifer Martins, and this is my micro-teaching project for English 607 Composition Studies. Today I will be talking about conducting effective writing conferences using non-directional and directive approaches. The learning goal for today is the audience will be able to identify how to conduct effective writing conferences with students using non-directional and directive approaches. The activities I will use to help conduct writing conferences involve simulating a mock writing conference in a non-directional and directive approach. In this video, I will model what both approaches look like in order for you to practice with your own students in real time. Before I begin my lesson, I want you to take a minute to reflect on what keeps you from conducting writing lessons in an effective manner. Before I show you how to conduct a writing conference, it's important to identify what a non-directional and directive approach is. So a non-directional approach is when students do most of the talking, and it's also the teacher primarily posing questions. So during that time, we're just kind of reflecting on their writing, and students are talking about their writing to the teachers. Directive approach is when teachers provide an evaluation and recommendation for how students might improve, and in this case, teachers do most of the talking. Before giving writing assignments and reviewing their writing, teachers must first figure out what reading level students are at, because in order for you to be able to write well, you need to first be able to read well. So the recommendation that I give for diagnostics is always iReady, which I'm showing right now on the screen. It tells you exactly what grade level students are at. Here's an example of that. After figuring out what reading level our students are at, we can then test what writing level they're at. And this is also where you'll be able to conduct your first writing conference with your student. Starting with the directive approach when conducting writing conferences, it's important to look at a checklist, your own scoring checklist. The one that I'm using here is from Using Grammar to Improve Writing by Sarah Tantillo. While reading the student's work, you're going to look at the checklist to grade them and give them feedback. You can also do this on the paper directly since you will be talking to them directly about it. Your notes should consist of glows, which are positive notes, and grows, which are notes to advise improvement. I would also say to limit a maximum of 3 grows and 3 glows each so that students are not overwhelmed with information. When meeting with the student for the writing conference, have students take a look at their writing and look at all the feedback that you have given them. Not only will students be reading the feedback, but they'll also be reading their own writing to refresh their minds on what they have written. After they have read their work and your feedback, ask them what they think they could have done better on in their own opinion, and what they think they did well on. After they discussed what they think they did well on, make sure you praise them for their confidence and their hard work to keep them motivated. After they discussed what they think they could have improved, agree with them in a friendly, positive tone, and proceed by showing them the grows you found in their writing. While you're going over the glows and grows, pause every so often so that students can understand what they did well and what they need to improve. Then to close off the writing conference, have the students rewrite the paragraph, adding the missing components from the scoring checklist, and editing according to the grows that you and the student discussed. When using a non-directional approach in your writing conference, jot down notes on a separate sheet of paper so that students will see it after they have presented what they think of their writing. Remember, when using a non-directional approach, students do most of the talking to develop agency and ownership with respect to writing and for the teacher to provide a supportive role in the conference. Here is a sample of what I use when having students self-evaluate their writing. Make sure that when students are using the self-evaluation, they're also actively looking at the work and writing down their own grows and glows. After students have filled out the self-evaluation, go over it with them by asking them questions and having them show the teacher why they think that way, referring back to their work as a reference. Similar to your reaction in the directive approach, make sure that you praise them for their confidence and their hard work, and make sure you agree with them in a friendly and positive tone on the things that they could improve on. After listening to what they have said about their self-evaluation in their paragraph, make sure you show them the sheet of paper that you have previously used to grade their work and see if the notes match between the student's self-evaluation and your notes. After students have seen your feedback, make sure they circle what they missed in their own self-reflection from your notes so that they can pay closer attention to the detail when they are writing their paragraph going forward. To close off the writing conference, have students rewrite the paragraph, adding the missing components from the scoring checklist and editing according to the grows that you and the student discussed. This concludes my micro-teaching project, but before you go, I wanted to leave 2 questions with you. The first question is, what is the biggest difference between a non-directional approach to a directive approach? And the second question is, what approach most resonates with your teaching style? Thank you so much for watching.